Assalamu alaikum everyone. Here I am Sajid Hussain, bearing rank 314. We the group members of 4 have worked on MNJ group, their training process and procedures. Before going to the brief presentation, now I want to give you a brief description of MNJ group. MNJ Group is one of the leading suppliers in respect to quality, productivity, and the most reliable apparel manufacturers, which providing high quality garments to the leading fashion and brands. MNJ aspires to be the leading suppliers in the global fashion business by offering the best expertise and knowledge in producing ready-made garments. Mission of MNJ Group. The main mission is to manufacture top quality ready-made garments by practicing advanced technology in production processes to attain superior customer satisfaction and maintain excellence. And if we go through the vision of MNJ Group, we can see that there are 3 visions of MNJ Group. These are strictly following the latest fashion trends and industry needs. MNJ Group offer world-class products using advanced technologies. And the last vision of MNJ Group is adhering to on-time deliveries according to the buyer needs. That's all from me. Now I would like to invite my next group member to continue the rest of the presentation. Thank you, everyone.
Assalamu alaikum, ma'am. This is Rafika Islam, ID 387. I'm here to present the findings of our analysis. Our first analysis was on what are the different training methods MJ follows for their employees. From the data, we get to know that MG follows 50% behavioral approach, 30% on-the-job training, 20% on-the-job training, and 0% cognitive approach for their employee. So we can say that MG follows mostly behavioral approach for their employees. Next slide, please. Our second analysis was on what are some of the barriers employees face when it comes to participate in the training program. So according to the chart, we can see that 30% of the employees are too busy at their work. 25% of employees faces lack of their supervisor support. 35% employee have inconvenient time and location, and 10% of employee have lack of confidence in their own abilities while participating in the training program. So we can say that it may occur that most of the employee face difficulties in participating the training program because of the inconvenient time and location. Next slide, please. Our third analysis was on if MJ could choose the top 3 priority topics for employee training and development this year, what would they be? In the chart, we can see that MJ focuses 60% on time management, 25% on leadership, and 15% on negotiation for employee training development this year. So so from the analysis, we can say that the MJ focused more on time management for employee training and development than other stuff. Our fourth analysis was on what kind of training session and practice does MJ follows for avoiding sexual harassment of employees. From the chart, we get to know that MJ follows 35% by writing and implementing sexual harassment policy, 30% by encouraging appropriate conduct by manager, 20% by getting high-level management support, and 15% by providing training on sexual harassment. The analysis is MJ follows mostly by writing, implementing sexual harassment policy to avoid sexual harassment of employees. That's all from me. The presentation will continue by my other group members. Thank you, madam.
Assalamu alaikum, ma'am. This is Mahmoud Akhtar, copy ID 362. Now I will present the rest of the analysis part. Our next analysis was on what kind of development M&J can address to improve time management, technical skills, as well as business communication skills for their employees. From the analysis, we found that M&J can focus 40% on Oracle inefficiency of employees, 30% on layers of division, 25% on irrelevant workloads, and 5% on motivation to improve time management and technical skills, as well as communication skills for their employees. Our next analysis was on what kind of improvements M&J can think about in terms of safety and health of the workplace for their employees. From the analysis, we found that M&J can focus 55% on complying with regulations, 35% on training employees, 5% on identifying and control hazards, and 5% on following a culture of safety in terms of safety and health issues of the workplace for their employees. Next slide, please. Our next analysis was on does M&J take any off-the-job training for their employees? From the analysis, we found that M&J use 100% on-the-job training for their employees. They do not take any off-the-job training for their employees. Next slide, please. Our next analysis was on what are the important parameters considered for selection of trainer. From the analysis, we found that M&J may consider 40% on relevant experience and job competence of trainer, 30% on course material, 20% on required charges of trainer, and 10% on cultural fitness for the selection of trainer. That's all from me. Thank you, ma'am. Now I'd like to invite my next presenter. Thank you.
Benjamin Franklin said, "Tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn." Hello, ma'am. This is Mubashira Didar, bearing ID 351, Department of Management, University of Dhaka. Now I'm going to present the major findings of our report. And the first one is identification of training objectives. As a government company, M&J has to cope with and adopt all the new advancements and rapid changes in the technology. And so they also need to, their employees also need to learn about them, the terms, new discoveries, new breakthroughs, to improve their skills and knowledge. The HR department of M&J is working relentlessly on the continuous training, development, and well-being of its members. Both in-house and outside organization training of employees are a concomitant and ongoing process. It's actually about setting a goal for the training program, but as M&J has been providing training for 24 years from now, they have pretty much pre-established objectives and measures for each of their programs and how they are going to determine the results. At the beginning of the year, the supervisors develop plans for their subordinates that what training they are going to what training are necessary immediately and what training can be given later, and then pass their decision to the HR department. Finally, after getting the requirements, the department goes for the necessary steps. Next slide, please. Then comes the levels of need assessment. The company conducts a TNA semi-annually, which means after every 6 months of the year. So it thoroughly goes to the 3 steps of the need assessment so that it can maintain its quality in the international market. There are 3 steps of need assessment. They are organization analysis, task analysis, and individual analysis. At the organizational level, the company prefers the most suitable training which is related with the organization's ultimate motive. And at the task level, the HR manager always focuses specifically on which skills are demanded by the workers for performing the particular jobs. At the individual level, M&J emphasizes the learning style of the workers because what is good to someone may not be preferable to the other. That's all from me. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all.
Hello everyone, this is Vishwajit Anthony Dango, bearing ID 396. Now I'm going to talk about the designing and delivering training materials. Training materials and Training materials are designed according to the needs of the employee deficiency. M&G basically provides training in the form of apprenticeship, job instruction, and job rotation. Besides the training program, workshops and seminars are arranged for the workers to think critically and to increase the level of commitment towards the organization. Now I'm going to talk about the process of training evaluation. After providing the training for a certain period of time, the managers then check out the performance again to evaluate whether the training was success or not. The evaluation basically made through the observation and the interviews, but observation is more preferable for the M&G garments. The managers look at some of the vital points while evaluating. There, is the unit better because of training? How are the trainee behaving on the job after the training? To what extent the trainees have greater knowledge after the training program? Then, what are the trainees' reaction to overall training program? If the training program really improves the performance and can obtain a great success, then it is continued for the upcoming groups. And if it does not bring any success to the organization, then the whole program is restructured. Then that's all from me. Now I'd like to request my next group member to continue the presentation. Thank you.
Hello, ma'am. I'm Vidya Ghosh, bearing ID 397. Now I'm going to discuss about the recommendations and conclusions of M&J Group. First of all, recommendations, which includes focus on cost. In strategic management, they only focus on quality and services, but they do not focus on cost. In competitive advantages, they should attain cost also. Deliver the product domestically. They only provide services in foreign countries. They do not services the product in domestic area. If they do that, the business area will expand. Now go for executive search firm for top level positions. They can go for executive search firm for top level position rather than always relying on succession plan. Sometimes more skilled employees and fresh ideas are required in top management who can make the decision and knows more about human resource management. Now consider the factors that create barriers. M&J should think about the factors that create barriers when it comes to participating in training programs from the employee part. Focus more on time management, leadership, and business communication skills. M&J can give more focus on management, leadership, and business communication skills of employees. Then pinpoint the important parameters in selecting trainers. Lastly, as training is an important part for the organizations and employees, M&J should pinpoint the important parameters in terms of selecting the trainer. Now, conclusions. It was a great opportunity for us to work on this company and acquire a wider view on the reality. We have learned a lot regarding how this business sectors operates and how this company managed to get its position in all these years. M&J Group has a long way ahead, and with the vast knowledge of the HR professionals, if they can maintain the wide range of workers properly with right managerial skills and maintain the standard they set, this soon will shift from growth stage to maturity stage. So that's all about our presentations. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you all the people to hear us, for hearing us. I'm sorry, ma'am.